enhancing customer engagement with chatbots. So this is week 5, and the training is on enhancing customer engagement with chatbots. This is very exciting, and in this training, Damali is going to explore with you how AI, in particular chatbots, can be a powerful tool in transforming your business and strengthening your customer relationships. As women entrepreneurs, you are not just driving your business forward, you are shaping communities, you are breaking barriers and creating opportunities for others. Leveraging technology like AI is very key in staying ahead of your business, of the curve, and engaging your customers more effectively. This training, Damali, specifically designed to equip you with the knowledge and skills to harness the potential of chatbots, enabling you to provide personalized, responsive, and seamless experiences for your customers. You will be taking your customer engagement to the next level. So this is very, very exciting, and I'm really excited to have you here. So with that introduction, I will pass over to the CEO and founder of Ideation Corner, Damali Salih, to take us through, first of all, the findings of the quiz and then the training. Thank you. Over to you, Damali.
Thank you. And good afternoon to everyone who's attended, who's here today. I'm glad to see you. And just to remind you again, if you have any comments, put them in the chat. And Sandra is monitoring the chat for us, so she'll be able to at least alert us to them, and then we can answer them. Any comments, any questions, any clarification. And then also we have Aurora online, who is also going to support in this training. So it's the three of us, myself, Sandra, Aurora, who are taking you through this training today. And as usual, we're going to start off with the survey, the outcome of the quiz that we did. It's not a survey, it's a quiz actually. So we're going to go through that. Sandra, can you see it?
Yes, I can.
Excellent. So the quiz last week was on data, using data for decision making and applying artificial intelligence in that. We got 110 of you responding to that quiz. And I think what I would like to say, of course, we started off with 145 of you in the baseline survey. And I think as the weeks have gone by, you've dropped off a bit more. Last week we had 135. Today we have 110. And even if you've dropped off, so i.e., even if you've missed the completing the survey, it just means that you won't get the certificate, but you can still get the knowledge anyway. But of course, I'll prefer that you guys complete, the quizzes so that you're able to get the certificate at the end of this program. So you just have a physical evidence of having attended this particular training. But in case for some reason you're unable to fill in the quiz, which is less than 5 minutes, if you do it, then you can still attend the classes and get the knowledge. So these are, I think this is the quiz where we've got our overall average being low, because we've always scored in the 80s. Last week our average score was 85. The week before it was 80. The week after before that, I think it's always been in the 80s and above. This week's survey, I don't know if it was more difficult or you didn't read the material, but anyway, our score, I'm going to tell it to you at the end. You'll see that it's lower than our user scores. So going through the survey, so the first question we did ask, what is the main advantage of using data in business decision making? That was the first question. And hold on, let me play around with my screen a little bit. For some reason, I can't see so well. Excellent. So that was the first question, and I'm happy to note that 68% of you correctly identified the question, the answer to that particular question, and the answer was that the main advantage of using data in business decision making is that it is more accurate. Your decisions are just more accurate when you're making that. I'm happy to know that 68% of you at least got that right. Then the second question was around which of the following is an example of big data. Only 46% of you got this one correct, and of course the correct option was that social media posts are actually an example of big data. Think about just all the posts on Twitter or the posts on Facebook. or the post on Instagram, just in Kampala. That's a huge amount of data that there is. And you can't compare it to, say, data in a spreadsheet of a company, a company like your company, for example. So the data on social media is considered big data. That's the word that it is called. So 68% of you got, oh, sorry, was it 68%? No, it was a smaller percentage, wasn't it? 46% of you, yeah. So less than half of you got it correctly. Then the third question was, which of the following is a benefit of using AI in data analysis? And I'm happy to note that 99% of you got the correct answer, which was that the benefit of using AI in data analysis is so you do demonstrate that strong capability. So what is the main goal of using AI in data analysis? So it's that it is actually more accurate. Then the fourth question was around data visualization. We did ask, what is the main goal of data visualization? This question was asked twice. You're going to see it also later on. And only 25% of you got it correct, which is that the main goal of using data visualization is present data in a visual format. I was a bit surprised that just 25 of us got it correctly, but there we are. So the data visualization is to enable you to present data in a visual format, and usually when data is presented in a visual format, is much more easier to be understood by many people. So that is a data visualization. Question 5, we did ask, what is the benefit of using data analytics in business? And I was happy to see that 73% of you definitely got this answer right. And the correct answer was all of the above, in that data analytics help improve decision making, they increase your efficiency, they enhance your customer satisfaction. So all the answers below were, or all the above were correct. So, and 73% of you got that correctly. On question 6, which was, what is the benefit of using AI in data analysis? 76% of you got this answer correct, and it was all of the above. It's accurate, it gives you enhanced insight, and it is also faster. Question 7 was, what is the main advantage of using machine learning in data analysis? And on less than half of you got this answer correctly. And the correct answer is that it is more accurate when you use machine learning. So that's another question where we did get less than half of you getting it correctly. Then question 8, it was, what is the primary goal of using data in business decision making? 68% of you got that answer right. And the answer was that it is to enable you to make more informed decisions, because now you have data, it's more factual, it's more accurate, so the decisions you're making are more informed. Question number 9 was around which of the following is a challenge of working with big data? Happy to note 68% of you answered this correctly. And the correct answer was all of those things listed were the issues of working with big data. So for example, if you have big data set, it means the analysis is going to take you longer to do because you're working with a huge amount of data. Then you're going to have to store it probably in a server somewhere, which you may have to pay for, or you may have to buy, or you can do cloud computing. But either way, it will be a cost to you because the data is big. And then also processing. Every day you have to process that data to make sure it's archived properly, everything. So all those listed items were correct. So the correct answer was all of the above, and 68% of you got it correct. And now the question 10 was the second question we asked about data visualization. Deliberately, we asked this question twice because data is easily consumed when it's delivered or shared in a much more visual format. So that's why we asked you 2 questions around data visualization, because it's very, very important. Unfortunately for us, only 21% of you got this correctly. The correct answer was that it is to present data in a visual format. This is actually in the question, in the word itself. It's to present data in a visual format. So our overall average score for this particular quiz, this particular class, stands at 59%. This is the lowest score we've got so far. I don't know if the class was harder. I don't know if the reading material wasn't read, but anyway, that's our score. It's 59%. But I'm happy that all of you, those of you who filled it in, the 110 of you who filled it in, that you filled it in, that you still tried. And at least you did demonstrate on the other key principles. You did demonstrate that you were able to grasp them, apart from this issue on data visualization. So I thought that before we go into today's class, which is on customer engagement, I should talk about data visualization because it was felt twice and it's a principle. It's one of the key principles of of you using AI. The biggest advantage is that you can visualize the data in a much easier way. So I decided to give you a definition of data visualization. So data visualization is a process of creating graphical representation of data so that it's easier to be understood, it's easier to be internalized by people. And you can use various tools. For example, you can show data, visualize data in a bar chart. You can put it in a pie chart. You can put it in these trend graphs. You can put it in a trend graph. So that way it's easier for someone to understand, even if they don't understand numbers that much. Many people don't like numbers. So when you show the data in a visual format, say in a bar chart or a pie chart or a scattered graph, it's easier to be understood by others. So also there are infographics that people do, there are dashboards that people do. So that's data visualization. And the main reason why it's done is that it helps to simplify very complex data. So when you visualize the data, it's much more easily understood by other people because it's simpler to be understood. And then you're able to identify patterns and trends. Think about you having a spreadsheet showing your data to someone in a spreadsheet where you have columns and rows compared to showing the same data to someone in a pie chart. Someone will understand the pie chart quicker than they understand that spreadsheet because you can't even see the pattern in a spreadsheet, but you can see the pattern in the pie chart. You can see half the pie is dominated by one thing. You already know that 50% of this data is dominated by this one particular item. So it's just much more quicker to be understood, and it also simplifies complex materials. Then you're able to communicate insights very quickly and effectively because people understand it easier than, say, going through a row of a spreadsheet. Then, of course, it helps you to do data-driven decision making. And that's part of it. If you can easily understand the data, and most people you're communicating to can understand the data, then it's quicker for you to arrive at a decision. And then it also enhances the storytelling with data. Storytelling is very important in sales and marketing, in customer engagement. So if you're able to tell the story using data visualization, it means you're able to reach your customers easier and faster in a way that they really understand you. So but for data visualization, say a pie chart, a bar, graph, an infographic, for them to be effective, it must be clear and concise. So your pie chart shouldn't be cluttered. It should be simple and concise. It should be accurate. It should be visually appealing. I've seen data visuals where they're using too many colors, so it's very difficult to follow, or they're using very dull colors, so it's nothing exciting about it. So it should be visually appealing, so it's interesting enough. And then it should be contextual and relevant. And data visualization is used in several fields, including business, healthcare, science, engineering. And it's just more accessible, easily understandable, especially by the wider public. And given that we are all in sales, marketing, you're trying to engage your customers, most of your customers are not interested in numbers. Most people just don't like numbers, except for accountants like myself. But so when you show your data in a much more visual way, it means that more people are likely to understand and take your message than less. So it's easier for you to sell what you're selling. So, ladies, those are the findings of our data visualization quiz. And I do hope that you at least for now, the biggest point that we did fail on data visualization, at least I hope now it has sunk in a little bit to understand that particular principle. Sandra, over to you. Are there any questions in the chat?
Yes, thank you so much, Damali, for clarifying that. That is actually very proactive and responsive to the challenges that were highlighted in this survey. And I hope the ladies appreciate that, you went further ahead to clarify on data visualization that they seem to have had a challenge with as they were doing this. maybe before we go to the questions, just two things. One, the last training, most of the questions, comments came at the end of the training, and we tried very hard to respond to all of them, but it was, just a bit too much. So I'm just requesting all the ladies or the participants, please do put in your comments during the session, and that makes it easier for us to make sure that we have answered everybody's questions and we've provided clarifications. So just put them in the chat. It's better than waiting at the end where we might have a short time to respond to a few of them. And then the second, as you've seen, the survey that Damali presented, this quiz is just 10 questions, and it takes at most 5 to 10 minutes, but really not more than 10 minutes to fill this in. So we are kindly requesting you as participants to just make time and fill in this quiz. It's very, very important, as Damali mentioned before. Those that have filled in the quiz right from the start of the baseline up to the week 1 session, we are now in week 5, and we've got about 3 more to go. Those that fill in the quizzes right from the start to the end will definitely get a certificate. Those that don't will not, but that will not take away this training from you. You will still be able to have gotten the knowledge. You're still able to sit into this training, listen in, ask your questions, and also follow. If you're not able to sit into the live training, you're able to access the YouTube link that we share that covers the whole training. So you will still be able to get the knowledge. But for those that were very, specific and wanted certificates, I'm encouraging you, please do conclude this training. It's a lot of work that goes in on this side of the trainers, developing the training material and sharing these, preparing for these trainings, and basically doing the training. It's a lot, way lot more that goes into this and delivering this training successfully. And as recipients, you get the training, you read it, and we're just asking that you fill in these quizzes. We are not really asking much of you, because that is very useful for our training. And maybe just to give a highlight of why I've put this up, the first training, we had about 145 respondents, which was good. The second, it reduced to 133 respondents. The third, to about 130. And then last week, we had the lowest at 110. So if there's any issue in filling out this quiz, do let us know. If there are any challenges that are happening, do let us know. But please try and fill in this quiz as you can. And as we've mentioned, if you don't, you'll not get the certificates, but that won't affect the knowledge that you've gotten. However, we are going to track the names of all the participants that have filled in right from the baseline to the post-assessment. So this is week 5. Thank you to those who have been very consistent. We've got 3 more to go, so I'm encouraging you all, please do fill in, because even the findings that we get from this, as I mentioned, I think it was last week or the week before, it's very, very important to how we tailor this training, to how we make sure that the training is useful and that we are customizing it to your needs. So with that said, we can go to the chat. And I think the first question that came through was that there was an issue with the questions. So the questions were confusing. The questions in the quiz were confusing. Agnes, could you be very specific and just give one example of maybe where it wasn't very clear? That will be very helpful for us. So that is the first comment, Damali. And then the other, someone mentioned the volume, but I think everyone else says the volume is fine. So I hope you can adjust the volume on your side, Miriam. Then Agnes, there's a question Agnes has asked, what about the primary goal of using data? So those are 2 questions. So one, and it's still, I think, Agnes, who said the question was confusing, and then what's the primary goal? Then the other, Sarah, thank you for everything you're doing. It's been a great experience. Is there a way we can get questionnaires mailed back? I'm not sure what that means. What do you mean questionnaires mailed back? Because the a link is sent for you to fill in to respond to the questions. So when you say you want the questionnaires, you mean mailed back to your email? That's not clear. Maybe you can clarify. And then also Joanne says the quiz was a bit complex. So those are two responses that say the questions were hard and the quiz was complex. Damali, over to you.
Okay, so for regarding the quiz being complex, yes, it is a quiz. So you needed to take a little bit more time to read through, but I'm happy that you're one of those who filled it in. And I think if you read all the material, the reading, I think the secret sauce is in the reading materials. If you read the reading materials and also you listen to this class, even if you haven't attended in person, and you watch the videos, the quiz is actually based on those things. If you've done those three things, you can't fail the quiz. The quiz is actually very easy. But if you've skipped through those, if you haven't read the reading material, you haven't watched the videos or even attended the class, then it's going to be harder for you to do the quiz. Then the quiz will appear hard. But if you've done those three, the quiz is actually very simple. So it could be that some of you are just going straight to the quiz, or you're not reading the material, you're not watching the videos, especially there's some videos where I say, this is a must watch. A lot of the answers are also embedded in the videos. So if you missed any one of those components, and then there's some material that we give in the online class. So if you miss any one of those components, when you go to the quiz directly, then yes, the quiz appears harder. But I just encourage you that there's a reason why we pick the things we pick. There's a reason why we choose the articles we ask you to read. There's a reason why we choose the videos we ask you to read. And then the online class also shares some information. Those three lots give you the info, and some of them are is there. Then the lady who asked the use of using data in the decision making, I think I'm going to send you back to the reading material, because we did have a class which went through why you should use data for decision making. We sent reading materials that covered all that, and also today, when I was sharing the outcome of the quiz at the end, I went to go deeper into data visualization because of the question that was failed consistently, and I gave the reason. So I will not repeat them, because there are so many opportunities that we've given where you could get that. Then there's someone who asked, I think Sandra read it out, to say, can we get the questionnaires back? So no, yes, it's possible. The system can allow that, but you have to pay a premium to be able to get that. Because imagine it's 110 of you. So we would have to pay a premium for each to send back each one of you the answers that you made. So there is a cost impact on that, because it's many. But the reason why I go through before every class, that I go through the survey and to tell you what the correct answer is, the reason I do that is to enable you to know where you failed and where you passed, because you would remember the answer you chose. So if I'm going through the survey and I'm saying that question one, the correct answer should have been this one, and in question one you didn't answer that way, then you would know that you failed at question one anyway. So I think that's the responsible. So you pay attention, and I don't know if you want us to share these the summary of the questionnaire of the quiz that I give. We can actually share that to help you fully understand what the correct answers were. So that's where it was. Then there's someone, I think, who's saying they're interested in to know what the answer to question 8 was. Let me see, what was question 8. I went through those. Maybe you can rewatch. You will when we share with you the link to this video, you can rewatch. The idea is that we have just an hour. We've already spent 30 minutes on it. I haven't even started the class, so I can't keep going back to repeat the things I've said instead of going forward. So now for the person who wants to answer to question 8, the person who was asking the reason for data in decision making, go back, read the material. You can rewatch this video, and then you'll get those particular answers. So Sandra, I think I'm going to move on now to the main class, because we only have 30 minutes left.
Yes, let's move on to the presentation.
Okay. So because of how much or how we performed on that question on data visualization, I decided that one of your reading materials, which I was supposed to share, I chose not to share, because I said I'll go through it so that you understand what data visualization really is, and then you can really appreciate how it actually works. So, Sandra, can you see what I put up there?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. So this class, we were supposed to go through customer engagement using chatbot. We shared several materials. We shared reading materials, which I hope you did use and read. And then we also shared video tutorials, which I also hope that you did read because or at least watched. A lot of information was also in the video material. So I hope you did. So I'm not going to go to the basics because that was covered in the reading material and in the video. So today I'm going to do two things. I'm going to go through one article that I should have shared with you, but I chose not to. And it's because of how much we had failed on data visualization. So I decided, you know what, we're going to go through this reading material because it demonstrates data visualization and how you can use data in your day-to-day decision making. And this is what I'm showing on the screen right now. Then the other thing we are going to do is to go through the presentation that I have for you. And I hope I'm able to do all that in the next 30 minutes. So, and if you've gone through the material, the chat, you know what a chatbot is. So I won't go repeat it. But this first thing that I'm sharing with you, which should have been reading material, is a summary of data that was collected with over 1,000 millennials. It's an American data set or survey or questionnaire. And it was targeting people between 26 and 39-year-olds. And it was to be able to predict or assess the future of digital commerce using chatbots. So the future of engaging your customers using chatbots, how does it work? So 1,000 millennials between the age of 26 and 39 were surveyed, and the survey revealed that 71% prefer to use chatbots every day. 86% are using chatbots for more than just chatting, they're also using it for business, and 89% would want to do more business using chatbots. So, so the graph below, you remember when I said data visualization, you can do it in a pie chart. So this data is literally data visualization. What you're seeing here is data visualization. So the people who did this survey decided to share with us the findings using this pie chart for this particular bit, where it says that 71% of users, of owners of smartphones, okay, in America, but you can probably also extrapolate it and apply it here, use how they were asking them how frequently do you use chat apps, how frequently do you use it, and then 23% of them were saying they use it several times a day. You can see 16% of them are saying they're using it every hour, 32% are using it daily. So the vast majority of young people between the age of 26 and 30 and 39 are using chatbots on a daily basis. So as you're tailoring your business, how to engage your customers, this particular age group can be targeted to be engaged in that particular way. So they also asked which chat apps are they using most often, and Facebook came up as the highest. Now going back to our lesson on data visualization, this one they decided to use a graph. You can see how easy it is for us to all understand that Facebook, I don't even need to be smart or need to know 37. I just know Facebook was the highest just by looking at this. I don't even need to remember the number 37. But so it appears Facebook Messenger was used the most by this particular group, then Apple, then WhatsApp. Now, for our context in Uganda, I think you can take WhatsApp first because Facebook closed. I don't know, people were using it using VPN, but okay, you can take WhatsApp as being the highest. And then you can see the others going down. So if you're a business and you want to engage your customers, ideally, WhatsApp is a great tool to use in Uganda because our Facebook is closed. If you are in America, then Facebook would be a great way based on the findings of this particular survey. It also found that 86% of these people preferred to use chatbots for more than just chatting. So 54% they received messages about orders and delivery. So there's business there. 54% are using chatbots for business. 50% are communicating about business through the chatbot. 41% are confirming orders and reservations, again using chatbot. So you can see how then 38% are saying that they are making payments through chatbot, you see? And then 37% are saying they're getting special offers and promotions through chatbot. So it shows that you can use chatbot to actually do business because these people are already engaging this way. And going back to data visualization, can you see how this data was visualized? These are, simple and interesting things to look at. I mean, it looks like a ball, right? Or a moon, half a moon or something. So it's more interesting to see these numbers this way than if it's in a spreadsheet. Emphasizing the point about data visualization. Then it also says that 93% of consumers benefit from chatbots. So when they were asked what is the benefit of you doing business or engaging with business community through a chatbot, what is the benefit of it compared to other means of communication? And these were all their answers. But can you see visually how this looks like? I can just look at the biggest circle and know that that's where the majority are without me even looking at the number. That's the beauty of data visualization. So, and it shows basically in the biggest circle, 48%, I said, I can save time and get a quick response back. That's why I prefer chatbots compared to communicating with the business directly. 25% says that the businesses can easily verify my identity or personal information. So you don't always have to put in your name, Damali Salu. If it's a chatbot and I registered, I don't need to say my name every time, my phone number every time, my email address every time. The chat will remember it. So people prefer to do business through chat because of that personal information is already there. 38% say they can use an app that they are already using on a regular basis. So if you think of us here, almost everyone is on WhatsApp. Some people are already on Instagram, people are on Facebook. So you don't have to engage them using another app. You're engaging them using an app they're already using, so it's easier for them. And that's what they prefer. They don't want to go and now download new apps to engage with your business. So 19% say that they don't prefer not to speak to people. That's why they prefer a chatbot. So there are some people who just prefer to, buy something without having to talk to a human being. They just want to, that's their preference. And then 24% said businesses say that they do send offers that are specific to the person's account. So the chatbot figures out what my preferences are, so that when there is an offer by the business, it sends it to me. Then, because it knows what my preferences are, it doesn't send me promotions that are not relevant to me. So it only sends you things that make sense or are logical to you. So these are some of the answers. And what I'm going to do is also to share this survey in our WhatsApp group, so that now you can read it in much more detail. But the entire point of this was to show you the trend of millennials using chatbots. I know most of you are millennials, and if your target market are millennials, this is where the trends are going. And even though this survey was done in the US, you can apply it here. No, maybe with the same numbers, but the same principles you can use. So this one, they were talking about, would you want to do business on chat? 25% say they're extremely interested in doing business on chat, and then 32% were very interested. 11% weren't interested at all, but you can see that very interested and extremely interested and somewhat interested are the biggest number. Then 82% preferred to make purchases via a chatbot. That's how much. So you can actually do your sales and marketing through chatbots, because that's the preference of most users. Then this shows you how businesses often interact using digital communication. I'm not going to go through all of it, because I'll share it with you, and then you can go through it. But it shows you the trend in using chatbots and where the people are going. And that's the end of it. So we will share it with you and go back. Aurora, you may come in if you have a comment to make. And also Sandra, if there are comments in the chat, then we can go through some of those comments.
Okay, thank you very much, Damali. Aurora, would you like to add to that presentation? Oh, Isaac, see, maybe if you could unmute Aurora. She might be trying to speak. Right. Yeah.
Okay. I've made you a co-host.
Okay. Okay, so waves or okay, there she is.
Come. Come, sir.
Aurora, can you? I've tried to unmute you. Has that worked?
Okay, she will come in when she can.
Okay, yeah, she will. But yeah, I hope that has been very clear with Damali's presentation. It just goes to show how many people are willing or are even already using chatbots for their businesses. And I think from the figures you presented, Damali, most of them say because they are already using these apps, it makes it easy, response is much quicker. And I think that's something to take on also as women businesses, to have an avenue. Every time we all have our phones with us, 24/7. So all the time you're just looking to your phone, you're able to see. I actually do most of my orders on chatbots. I'll use WhatsApp if I've seen something like on Instagram or advertised anywhere, and then I'll just send a message and say I want to make an order. And we already have some businesses here that already send links where you can even make the payments. Like everything is done so much faster. Within 30 minutes, your order has been confirmed, clarified, and it's already on the way to you. So that just shows you how efficient it is. And it also encourages a more personalized connection with your customer, which is very, very important. Okay, so with that, I'll hand over back to Damali to then make a presentation. Damali, are you going to present something? Yes, I see there's something on here.
You can see it on the screen?
Yes, I can.
Excellent. So, ladies, I do hope and I would love to see your comments on, for those of you who went through the reading materials, who went through the videos. I would like to see your comments in the chat around, have you tried out any of the instructions that were given? What are your thoughts? Have you used any chatbots? Other people, like Sandra said, she's used some chatbots here and there. What kind of chatbots have you encountered? Have you used them before? Are you going to consider using them in your business, for example? It would be good for us to know, because this is a practical course, and we prefer that the knowledge or the information we're giving to you is seen immediately, or at least is used immediately. So please feel free to use the chat to update us and with your comments on if you've used a chat. Is your business using a chatbot? Are you going to consider using a chatbot now that you know how to use it? Or at least you have knowledge on how to use it. You have specific instructions. Like I said, the video links really had very specific instructions. But also, when we sent you the ideation corner, one of the materials we sent you was the ideation corner instructions. We showed you how to create a chatbot on WhatsApp, how to create a chatbot on Instagram, how to create a chatbot. Was it on Facebook? I can't remember. So has any of you used that? Are you going to consider using it? Are you planning to? Have you used a chatbot before? So we would love to see your comments as I go through the class. So going through now the class. Hold on. I'm sorry, I'm trying to work on my screen. Can't see. Excellent. So I'm going through basically a basic, this is introduction to chatbot. The basic description of a chatbot. It is a computer program that uses artificial intelligence to simulate human-like conversation. So they are human-like because it first of all understands what you've written and then it responds based on what you've written. There's a history of chatbots. For example, the first chatbot was called Eliza, and it was developed in 1966, way back. So while for us AI and chatbots may appear new, this journey started back in 1966. And then since then, they've developed, become more sophisticated, and now they've come to the mainstream where now we, the masses, are even able to see them. Because back then, before in 1966, all the way to the 2000s, I think it was those people in tech who saw them. But now we exist with chatbots. So the different types of chatbots, for example, there is a rule-based chatbot where it uses predefined rules to respond to user input. So when you're setting it up, you give it specific instructions and then it responds to users. Then there are AI-powered chatbots, and those are the best ones. These ones use machine learning to understand and respond to the users. So these chatbots, these are the ones who would even consider and profile you based on the questions you've asked before, where they only send you promotions that are relevant or that are in line with your kind of profile. So a company may have a chatbot that I interact with regularly, and it now has a promotion. But based on my interaction, this promotion is not a promotion I'll be interested in. Now the chatbot will not bother sending me that promotion, so which is great. However, if the company is now doing a promotion that is aligned with what I normally do because of the history of me asking certain questions, then it will send me that promotion, which is now relevant to me. So that's how now I will engage with that chatbot and with that company, and I will feel really good that the company is offering me a promotion that is relevant to me. I won't see the others that are not relevant to me. So then there is a hybrid chatbot, and these combine both rules and artificial intelligence powered approaches. So that's the hybrid. Then there are benefits, the critical benefits of using chatbots for consumer engagement, because it's what we're interested in, consumer engagement, because we're women entrepreneurs, is that it gives you 24/7 support. You could be sleeping in the night, but if someone sends you a message at or engages with your business at 10 p.m., because that's the time they have, they'll be able to get an answer. They can get a pricing list at that time at 10 p.m. And yet for you, you're sleeping. So it offers this 24/7 support, which as a human being you can't do, and you can't put people to do 24/7. So, and why should you when a chatbot can actually do it? Because most of the questions that I usually ask, there are some frequently asked questions for any business. Usually people asking, there are some questions that most customers ask. Like they'll ask you, what is the cost of this shea butter over 100 or 500 grams? Now that's something you can automate where the chatbot answers. A human being doesn't have to answer that. So then also it offers that personalization. So when a chatbot is talking to me, I feel like it's talking to me, the person, because it says, hi, Damali. Damali, happy to engage with you today. So it gives that personalization that makes me feel special. Then it also increases your efficiency. So if you have like 50 customers asking this same question, how much is the shea butter of 500 grams? And then you're answering these 50 people as a human being. It's not efficient. But a chatbot will answer these 50 people like in an instant without taking that much time. So it's more efficient for you. And it also improves the customer experience because the customer feels like I'm being responded to instantly, immediately. And yet a human being may not be able to respond to me because they've gone for lunch or it's a public holiday, maybe it's a Sunday. But the chatbot will always respond to me. So I feel like the customer experience is good. So there are some examples of chatbots, which I'm pretty sure you've encountered because these are massive companies and most of us interact with them. So MTN Uganda has a virtual assistant. Please write in the chat if you've interacted with the MTN virtual assistant, which is a chatbot. Some big bank, Uganda also has a chatbot for their banking business. So if you're a customer of Stanbic Bank, you're more likely to have used that. Interestingly, I'm a customer of Stanbic Bank, but it was when I was doing this research that I found that they have a chatbot. I've never used it. I am a bit, maybe I'm old school in this way, I tend to call. And then I email. Then URA has a chatbot called Tinder, I think Tinder. I don't know how many of you have interacted with that one, but so you know it's there. KCCA also has a chatbot. And of course, now with these say URA, KCCA, for them, they're service type chatbot. They're trying to give you information of services that they're providing. They're not a sales chatbot. MTN virtual assistant could actually be sales, where they're telling you how much data bundle or how much you can pay for this data bundle promotion. Some big bank, I'm sure, is also a service chatbot. So depending on the industry or sector that you're in, you would use chatbot. There's this other chatbot called Health Buddy Uganda. I've never used that, didn't know about it until I was doing this research for this class. But it would be interesting. Have any of you interacted with any of these chatbots? Please write in the chat. That is the MTN Uganda one, the Stanbic Bank one, the URA one, the KCCA one, the Airtel one, or just tell us which chatbot have you used. Sandra has talked about some of the big orders that she's done. I do also a lot of orders. So I see something on Instagram, on someone's Instagram page, and if they don't have a WhatsApp link, I actually don't bother buying from you. If you have a WhatsApp link, then I interact with you on WhatsApp. Now that is a chatbot. And some of them, they are really good. They're small businesses, but they have a chatbot. Their Instagram, you can send a message, which message comes automatically into your WhatsApp. Their name is the company name is automatically there. I don't have to enter the number myself. I don't even have to enter the number at all. And then immediately from their page, if they have WhatsApp for business, I can see all the products they have. And then I can ask, what is the price of this particular shoe? Then the chatbot replies, this is the price, what size are you looking for? I tell it the size. So, and I've interviewed these are small companies and they also have chatbots and they're just using, again, existing tools. They're using Instagram. I already have Instagram, so it's more convenient. I don't have to download your special app to fill up my phone. But I already use Instagram for so many other things, so it makes sense. WhatsApp, I already use WhatsApp anyway. So, and then also the beauty about setting up a chatbot on WhatsApp is because these things are owned by the same company, Meta. So WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook. You just need to set up one chat, do the instructions for one of them, and then they can be integrated in all of them. So that's the beauty of that. Then understanding customer engagement. So of course, before you give the chatbot the instructions on what to do, you need to understand what customer engagement is. So the proper definition of customer engagement is that you form a personal, emotional connection between your brand and the customer. And it is important to do customer engagement because it ensures that the customer is loyal to you. So if I'm using your chatbot, or chatbot now knows my preferences, now like that example I was giving you, I'm on Instagram, I see a wonderful shoe, I send you a message, it's automatically in my WhatsApp. Now your company is already registered in my WhatsApp. If I need another shoe, I can just ask, I need this same pair in black or brown. You've already automatically got customer loyalty from me because now I don't need to look for another shoe company. I feel comfortable with you because you're already in my WhatsApp. You're literally in my inbox. So it creates that customer loyalty and then also improves customer retention. If you're already in my WhatsApp, I'm probably going to engage with you more. If you're already on Instagram, it also means, and I've worked, at least clicked on your page on Instagram, it means whatever you post now is going to come up in my feed. And that's how you retain me because now if you have any new product, I am there, I can see them automatically. Then it also enhances your brand reputation. So now, like this example I'm giving you, if I wanted to, which I want, I would mention a brand, this particular brand that I bought, shoes from. And I buy a lot of things on Instagram based on what I see. But normally, if I go to Instagram and you don't have an option for me to send you a message via WhatsApp, I don't even bother because I'm like, okay, it's too much work. I have to make phone calls. It's too much. But if you're on Instagram, you have a WhatsApp link, I connect, I ask you questions, you tell me the price. I even drop you a pin. I don't need to talk to your border guy to give directions when I'm busy doing things. So you see how now even the reputation of your company improves because I can do all these things as I'm in a meeting and I'm still ordering something because it's not taking my time away. So of course, if you're doing this, if you have a chatbot, there's some of the key metrics that you should use, and that is the customer satisfaction. That's something you should do easily. Again, if you're using a chatbot, it's easy for you to send a survey to me, for me to click. And ideally, your service should be really short so that you can see my level of satisfaction with using your products. And then there's a net promoter score, and then there's a retention rate. Those are all in the back end anyway. They'll tell you how that works. Then there are some challenges to using a chatbot for customer engagement. Personalization. So while it could personalize, some of them may struggle personalizing fully. So you need to be, aware of that. And then also you should be also measuring your return on investment in that particular way. But the challenges are fewer than the benefits you get out of it. Then there are some chatbot platforms. If you listen to that to the video link that that was shared as part of your class, these platforms were discussed in a lot of detail. So the dialogue flow that was very much I think in the first video that was sent, it showed you what the dialogue flow is. And if you didn't watch that first video, please go watch it. So it shows you the dialogue flow. But the dialogue flow is basically a conversation like. And if you use the Stanbic Bank chatbot, that actually uses a dialogue flow. It means I ask a question, it's answered. I ask a question, it's answered. I ask a question, it's answered. So it just doesn't throw information at me. Because there are some chatbots, you say, hi, and it just sends you information that is not even relevant to what I've just said hi. And you haven't even waited for my next question, which is, hi, I would like to order for a cup. It just sends you information about the company, about everything they're doing. Now, those chatbots are actually annoying. The dialogue flow is different. It means that I say hi, the chatbot says hi to me. Then I would like to know the cost of this cup. It gives me information about the cost of that particular cup. It can ask me what color do you want. So it's tailored. It's a dialogue. That's why dialogue is both ways. Then the features and functionalities of each platform, depending on which one you get. But you don't need to know all these details. so much. It's just that I have to give you the background or the theory of it, because whichever platform you're in, if you're using Instagram or Facebook, they already have their chatbots that you can use, because that's what they use. So that's what you must use. And if you follow the instructions that we are given, both in the video link and in the list that was sent that has that ideation from the logo, which shows you how to set up a chatbot on WhatsApp, on Instagram. If you follow that, the chatbot on Instagram is automatic because they are partnered. So you don't need to know so much of the functionalities, but these are the features of the chatbot. Then in terms of choosing the right platform for your business, it's important that you choose the right platform. For example, of course, I've been talking about Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. Those are the ones I mostly interact with, but there are others. But you should consider, remember the information I gave you earlier in terms of the trend. So if you're choosing which platform you're going to use, look at the platform that is giving you the most mileage. Where are your customers currently? Are they mostly on Facebook? Are they mostly on Instagram? Are they mostly on WhatsApp? Are they mostly on Twitter? So if they're mostly on Twitter, then set up a chatbot that is on Twitter. If that chatbot can be transferred into the other platforms, great. So you need to know your business, and that's where the data is important. That's why we have to go through that data-driven decision making. So you need to know where your customers are currently, and then you set up a chatbot that is where your customers are. And if your customers are on various platforms, you may have two platforms. So a lot of the information in fact I've offered to you are platforms that are free. You can set up a chatbot for free. So you can use a platform where they are. So you need to assess where your customers are, and then you also can evaluate the features of the platform and also the pricing. Of course, if you're going to go premium, you have to pay, but the information, also the information I'm offering you here are those that are available for free, because you can still use the free features significantly to get maximum value out of it based on the free versions of the chatbot that are available. And in fact, I encourage you, if you've never used the chatbot, don't go straight to the paid for one. Start with the free one, because when you start with the free one, you're able to tell, okay, what exactly do I need? What features do I need more of? Which ones don't I need? So that when you're paying for the premium, you're paying for the features that you actually need. And you may find that the free one is actually offering you everything that you need. But if there's something that you still want more from the premium, then you can just pay for that. But before you pay for the premium, know what the basic is offering you. So that way you're much more informed before you do that. Then if you're designing your chatbot, make sure there are some principles. Just keep it very simple and concise. I've given you that example where I send a message to a chatbot of a company and say hi, and then it sends me all the entire history of the company and all their products. Now that is not simple. It's not concise. It's actually annoying. I may just go away and just block them because they're giving me unfiltered information. Then also use natural language. So if I say hi, your chatbot should be able to say hi back to me. If I say good morning, you should be able to say good morning back to me. So it appears normal, If I'm formal, I say, dear sir or madam, then you should say back to me the same formal dear Miss Damali. So that it appears natural. Because if you're meeting a person and you're like, Madam Damali, then usually, it's very formal. Then they will say, but if you say hi or hey, then it's hi or hey. So it should be natural, like I'm talking to a person. And then you can also make sure that you develop a consistent voice and language. So there are some people who say to their chatbots and they are informal, they are happy, they say good day, fun day today. Or others are just really informal, they're just Miss Damali, glad to help you today. So it depends on the voice of the brand that you choose. And remember, we talked about the voice of your brand in our earlier modules. So whichever you've chosen, then also your chatbot should be aligned with the voice of your brand. Then in terms of when you're writing effective chatbot dialogue, you must use clear and concise language. You must avoid technical jargon and technical terms. So there are people in companies, I do work in companies where we have our internal technical jargon, and a person comes in and like, what is that? What is that acronym? What is CDP? So you shouldn't use the same jargon when you're setting up your chatbot. Make sure that the language is simple. Remember, you're trying to make a sale. So if you're trying to make a sale, you have to make it easy for people to buy from you. So make sure the language is simple, and make sure that the responses are responsive. And also you can do a chat where at some point, if the chat can't answer the question the person is asking or doesn't understand what the person is asking, it can say that I am going to transfer this conversation to our customer care officer named, Prosi Nambi. I'm saying Prosi Nambi because I can see her name here. And you see now I've asked a question. The thing didn't give me the answer I wanted, but it told me that it's going to channel my question to Prosi Nambi, their customer care officer, who will get in touch with me. So that is now helpful. But if I send a question that is complicated, the chatbot doesn't have an answer because it was never trained to have that answer, then it's still giving me verbose of things I don't want. That is annoying, and it means you could lose me as a customer. So also when you're designing the chatbot conversation flow, you must determine what are the goals. So there are some people now you see when I say KCC has a chatbot, for them their primary goal is service delivery. They're not selling anything. Then if I'm a SME, I'm a company, I'm ideation corner and my business is coffee, my objective for my chatbot is actually to drive sales. So the conversation or how I'm going to design is going to be different than the one that KCC is going to design. So you need to know what the objectives are of your company and why you're setting up a chatbot for, and then you must drive that main goal and objective. And then you map out the conversation. If you watch the video, it shows you how you map out the conversation, and then you test it. And the reason why I prefer that you start off with the free versions, that is easy to test and then iterate. And don't get stuck with your initial, if you set up the initial instructions, set up the initial instructions just for you to test it out. But it's for the purpose of you to respond on how it's responding. So if you set out your chatbot and the first question it asks, or what shoe size do you want? And most of the questions that are coming in, if you look at the history, most of the questions that are coming in have nothing to do with shoes. They are more like, where are you located? Then you go back into the chat conversation and customize it again to say, okay, most people most frequently asked question is, where am I located? Do I deliver? Do I do home delivery? And can they pay by mobile money? Those are the top 3 questions. Now you go back and redesign your chatbot to answer those 3 main questions. Even though for you initially your idea was to sell, and you design your chatbot to tell me about the products you have. So that's how you refine. The idea is to be able to refine based on the questions of your customer, so that is responsive. So when you're also building, you're setting up. So now we're going to. I hope you can see the slide, which is talking about building a chatbot, and so you have to start off. You have to take it seriously and take time to do it and thinking. And if you look at where we came from, it is getting you to this point. Actually, a lot of the modules we've done are driving you to this point of where you can build your chatbot, because the information of what we were asking for, and then you do the settings. And if you do your chatbot based on platforms that are already existing, then it's easier because they've done a lot of the programming in the background. Then I did talk about integrating the chatbot into several channels. You can put it on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on Instagram, on SMS. You guys have received these mass SMSs, okay? So you can still do your chatbot on SMS. And then you can configure your chatbot workflows. So you come up with the objective. What is the objective of this chatbot? Then you define the responses based on what you think your customers normally ask. But of course, these responses should be changed depending on what they actually start asking when you start implementing. When you start implementing, and then it's always good for you to always go back and look at what are the questions that are being asked. How is the chatbot responding? And once you do, if you keep, so it shouldn't be set up as in one go and then you end it. You always have to go back and forth and say, okay, so what are the most frequently asked questions? And once you have those most frequently asked questions, then you design your chatbot to do that. Also, you may have designed your chatbot to say, we're selling this product, we're selling this handbag at this price. So your chatbot is always giving me the price. But you didn't think of me asking, okay, that's a great handbag, but do you have it in a tote? So your chatbot can't answer that. But now you realize that many people are asking you, whenever they ask a handbag, you say, do you have a tote with it? Do you have does it come with a small wallet with it as well? Now you also now define your chatbot to be able to answer those questions, whether it's a yes or no, but now you've already in there. Then there are some best practices when you're setting up a chatbot. So one, you should use your customer data to personalize responses. So if I met your company, say on Facebook, my account number is there, my name is there, and then I start contacting your company via WhatsApp using the chatbot, it should be able to know that I'm Damali Sally. It should be able to say, hi, Damali. That's how you personalize. But if it just says hi, then it's impersonal. So you should be able to, to do that. Then you also must segment your customers based on their behaviors and preferences. So there are some customers who prefer a phone call. They'll say, can I call you or can I receive a call? So you have the segment of people who require phone calls. And then you can set up your chatbot that is able to tell them, yes, you can get a call from our customer care officer in the hours between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. and we've given you details to them. And if I've sent that question after 5 p.m., you should be able to say, our customer care service will call you tomorrow at 8, between 8 and 9, between 8 and 5 p.m. during working hours. So that's how you segment your customers. Then there's some customers like myself who don't want to talk to people. I don't want to be called. So everything should then now be automated. Then in terms of handling customer inquiries and requests, your chatbot should provide clear and concise responses. You should respond to the question asked, not just give general answers. Because giving a general answer is worse. It's easier for me not to get an answer than to get a general answer because you will lose me as a customer. But if I get an answer that says I'm unable to answer this question at the moment, but I'll transfer you or I've contacted our customer care officer who will get in touch with you, that's a better response. We still know an answer, but I know you haven't given me gibberish, blah, 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 blah. So, and then it should be able to escalate complex issues to human support agents. I think I've said those two in one. And then you should also be able to use your chatbot for proactive engagement. So whenever you have offers, this chatbot should be able to send the offers to the customers who are already engaging with your chatbot. That way you're able to, again, have customer loyalty, retention, and then you feel your customers are feeling that you're looking out for them. And because the promotions are tailored to me. And then with each chatbot, they always make metrics or data analysis, I should call it, analysis at the back. So you can always track these, the metrics in any chatbot, which will show you, again, the most frequently asked questions, how often do your customers drop off? In fact, you'll be able also to tell that most times customers ask this question and when we give them this answer, they don't come back. So you're able to wonder what's wrong with this answer? Why don't they come back? So you're able to ask yourself this question, but you'll be able to give you that data that out of the 35 customers that engaged on this question, only 3 came back after you gave them that answer. So if it's a pricing answer, you may wonder, is this price too high? Why did they get back? So it gives you that information, the data, again, the data-driven decision making. You see how this is connected to the module B4. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how we're doing on time, but that's all for the lesson.
Thank you, Damali. We're actually past 3. We're 7 minutes in, but that's very understandable given that we spent more time in understanding that data visualization. That was also very important. But this is a very, very interesting topic because it's engaging with our customers. And I think also this is what our participants are very interested in. So I really hope this has been helpful. Real quickly, I'm just going to go through some of the comments because we are out of time. So we have Sharon saying, I'm considering using Chatbox after reading and watching the videos. I have interacted with Chatbox. Umeme has a Chatbox on WhatsApp. Okay. I think I've also interacted with that one. Nakato Jen says, I have tried using, but she can't find WhatsApp API on her business account. Someone is excited. They say they want to watch the videos again as they implement. She can't wait to make good use of WhatsApp to grow her businesses. That was Miriam. Okay. Susan, I always use WhatsApp Business, but it works so easy because of the description of your business is shown and all the questions will be focused on the description. And Henry says, yes, I have used.
Did you say Henry?
Yeah, we have a Henry K. It's a lady, but the address is Henry K. Yeah. I've seen
like
her.
Has a guy infiltrated our
it has a guy's name. But yeah, it's a lady that she usually joins with her video on, so at least I've confirmed that it's a lady. But I think the address is for someone. So she says, yes, she's used Chatbox for URA. And Aparo Cecilia, she's interacted with MTN WhatsApp chat box and several chat box on company websites like Pahapa Company and learning sites. So yes, most of the responses have been these ladies sharing the experiences with chatbox before, and most are appreciating. Someone said, "Thank you so much, Damali." That's Jemeo. Christine's Christine, thanks as well. Henry says, "Sorry, it's Immaculate, but the address brings Henry." Thanks for clarifying that, Henry. Oh, sorry, Immaculate. Immaculate. Angela says she hasn't used it for her WhatsApp, but she's eager to try it out. So that's exciting, Angela. And then I think the last one, I think that's it. I hope I haven't missed anyone. But yes, most of them are appreciating, for this training and sharing the experiences. So thank you very much, ladies. I see we don't have much time, so I'm just going to be closing to really say at Ideation Corner, we extend our heartfelt thanks to each of you for your active participation. And in today's training, Damali explored how AI and chatbox can really streamline your operations, as well as create more meaningful and personalized connections with our customers. I think that's what I also found very exciting, having that personal connection with your customers, knowing who they are, what they like, just makes it much easier for you when you are out there trying to reach as many customers as you can. So we really hope that you're going to leave here very, very empowered to put these strategies, like what you have learned today, into action in your businesses. So do continue experimenting. For those that haven't experienced chatbots, do get out there, get your phone, just experiment, refine, and really innovate your use of technology to see how you can get your business to the next level. So thank you very much, ladies. With that said, I think we've come to the end. Thank you. Damali, do you have any last words? Aurora, would you like to add anything before we close?
Maybe the
But
last
thank
one I
you,
could
thank you
add
very much. Yeah.
is one day someone who asked about WhatsApp API. That's usually used by large companies and it's a premium payable. So, but you start with the WhatsApp for Business. That is free. Start with that. Don't start with the big stuff. Start with the WhatsApp for Business. And if you look at the material that we sent you, we actually gave you specific instructions that you can follow to set up your WhatsApp for Business. So start with that. And I had wanted to see, unfortunately, in the comments, none of them said. I'd wanted to see if any of them has actually done that WhatsApp for Business or Instagram to see if they've even tried it out. But try out the things that are free first. Don't go for the things that are payable. Do the things that are free first, because once you master the free one, it's easy now to understand what you need to pay for in the premium end. So I would encourage you to do that. Then maybe stand off for you to just further emphasize. Please do fill in the survey. We share the survey on Wednesday.
Yeah.
You have until Saturday midday to fill it in. It's less than 10 minutes. That's all we do ask. We are not even like grading you, even if I shouldn't say that, but anyway, fill in the survey, please. It's there for 3 full days. So fill it in. And if you don't, it's fine. You can still be attending the classes because this is a practical class. The knowledge and information you can still get. But if you don't do the exam, it's like you're at university, most of you are university graduates. If you didn't do the exam, the lecturer can't pass you, you see. So it's the same thing.
Yeah. So ladies, thank you so much. Do fill in the quiz, and we look forward to next session as well. We will send the reading materials as we always do, and you have enough time to go through them, watch the videos, and yeah, see you next week. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.